the role of friendship in interreligious dialogue. It is an important topic to address, to speak about. In Islam, there are three terms for the word friendship. You have the word suhba, which means companionship, and sadaqa, which means to be honest with someone and trustworthy, to be his or her friend. And number three, khalil, which means to become one with someone's heart, soul, and mind. What's the difference? You may be someone's companion on a trip, but not necessarily his or her very close advisor, consultant, soulmate, or mindmate, or heartmate. You might travel with someone, do business with someone that may make you some kind of a friend, but not fully. Suhba is where you are not only the companion of someone in a journey or in an experience, but rather you are there to be his confidant. You are there to listen to them and for them to listen to you. So you are moving from a temporary relationship to a permanent relationship. A relationship that is conditioned, a relationship that is small in scope and in time, to a long-range, long-term relationship. The third relationship is called Khalil. Khalil is to not only be the friend of someone for a permanent time, but with limited experiences. To become someone fully and in every way, shape, and form is called Khalil. In Islam, we call Abraham as Khalilur Rahman, that Abraham was the Khalil, the close confidant of God, the close friend of God. God advised him, he advised God. God consulted him, he consulted God. So he was so close to God to a point of becoming one with the will of God. This is why Abraham is so important in Islam, but also in Judaism and in Christianity. Abraham gave everything in his mind, in his life, for the sake of God. Abraham listened to God. Abraham spoke to God. Abraham loved God. Abraham communicated with God. Abraham forgave God as God forgave him. But these are the qualities that have to exist in interreligious dialogue. For interreligious dialogue to work, we have to love one another. We have to be honest with one another. We have to trust each other. We have to listen to each other. We have to communicate with each other. We have to be there to serve each other. Interreligious dialogue cannot be for the mood of the moment. It happens when I want to do it. For interreligious dialogue to work, it has to be sincere, it has to be on permanent basis, and it has to be there to exist forever and ever and ever. That is the role of a true friendship. For a friendship to be right, to be good, we have to live all of those qualities. Let me repeat them again, because those are the important qualities in interreligious dialogue. Love. Unconditional love. Jews need to love Muslims from their heart and be sincere about their love. Muslims need to love Jews, need to love Christians. Christians need to love Muslims and Jews. We all need to love Buddhists and Hindus and Baha'is and Sikhs. We need to be sincere about this inner feeling for everyone out there, that I don't love you only for the moment, and I don't love you because you are doing me a favor, but I love you and I mean that love unconditionally. That's number one. If you love someone, what do? You try to understand them. Understanding is a very important characteristic for the success or foundation for the success of interreligious dialogue. We need to understand each other. You know what? You fear that which you do not know. We all fear each other. We all may not understand each other in the right way. Jews may fear Muslims because they don't know Muslims from within. Muslims may fear Jews because they don't Jews from within. Christians may fear Muslims because they don't know the true spirit of Islam, or vice versa. So number two foundation for a true relationship, a true friendship that is important for interreligious dialogue is understanding. To understand the other from within, not from without. If I am a Muslim and I want to be true in my interreligious relations, with Jews, I need to reach out to Jews, learn about Judaism, study about Judaism from within, not from without. If we understand each other, that will help us tear down walls that have separated us from each other. If we understand each other, we come to discover that we have much more in common than we have differences. You know, for so many years we thought that we're so much different from one another. No, we are not. We are not. There's so many important foundations in all religions that are similar and common and can be almost the same. That's what we need to know about each other, but we only do that when we go out of our way to learn about someone else. So number one, unconditional love of the other as fellow brother and sister. Number two, an attempt to understand the other. But guess what? If you understand the other, what does that help you do? Learn how to communicate with them. So that's number three, communication. We need to learn how to communicate our feelings. We need to learn how to communicate our narratives. We need to learn how to communicate with the other what we think. And to allow them to communicate themselves to us as well. So that Jewish prayer, Shema Yisrael, listen, listen, listen. God gave each one of us 2 ears and one mouth. We need to listen more and talk less. Listen to one another. Muslims need to listen to Jews telling them their own narrative. Jews need to listen to Muslims telling them their own narratives. Let's go to India and Pakistan. Hindus and Muslims need to listen to each other in every way, shape, and form. So number one, love. Number two, understanding. Number three, communication. And number four, forgiveness. My friend, we cannot keep talking about what we did to each other in the last 5,000 years or 2,000 years. It's over. It is over. The past is past. We can learn from the past to move forward. We need to forgive each other. We must not allow the bitterness of yesterday paralyze the possibilities of the future, the possibilities of tomorrow. So love, understanding, communication, and forgiveness. And number five, trust. We need to trust each other. Trust each other in every way, shape, and form. For me, these are very important 5 foundations for a good interreligious dialogue event, or this is what we can do to build strong friendships between each of us, between ourselves, between our religious communities. Friendship, honest friendship, sincere friendship, a friendship that leads us to respecting one another, caring about one another, and guess what? Celebrating differences we have with one another. After all, I promise you, my friend is someone who feels secure when he or she is with me. We need to feel secure with one another, not feel threatened by each other. That is a true friendship, a friendship that lasts. The feeling of safety and security in the presence of others. Not the feeling that you are there to convert me or for me to convert you. That does not work and must not work. So to conclude, I love you, truly and from my heart. And I hope we build enough relationships, enough friendship that it brings us all together for the sake of God, for the sake of building true peace between our religious communities. Peace be with you. May the peace of God be with you. Assalamu alaikum.